Are you looking to make the most out of your savings? On Raisin.com, you can earn higher interest rates with just a few clicks. Raisin.com gives you access to some of the best rates on CDs and high-yield savings accounts from our partner banks and credit unions nationwide, all from a single login. With your free account, you can fund and manage multiple savings accounts, maximizing your federal deposit insurance coverage and minimizing headaches. There's no minimums, no hidden fees, and no fine print. Grow your savings today. Visit Raisin.com. That's Raisin.com.
Another wild Sunday. Woo! This is Strikeout Beer. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Strikeout Beer podcast. I'm your guy, RD, flying solo RD, back at it again for the Sunday special. Big, tall glass of frosty, cold, fermented water. That's right. We're having some nice. I had a buddy of mine I used to work with a long time ago. What do you call them? Like barley foam pops or something? Barley foam pops, I think is what he called it. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful Sunday. The party continues, right? So I'm off tomorrow. I'm going to have a little bit of fun, stay up a little bit late. Hey, cheers to you, old schools in the house. Man, how are you, sir? I'm running the board, running this, running that. It's just me today. And yeah, it's absolutely bonkers to say the least. And today I got to actually sit around and watch a lot of football. I had the red zone up, which is awesome because the red zone doesn't focus in all the stupid people that aren't playing football at a stadium. It's just football, not whoever's dating Kelsey or this crazy person from LA. I don't know. None of the sideshow. I called them like sideshow freaks earlier. None of these side piece a-holes. But anyways, I need a drink. Cheers. One more cheers to you. Let's get it going. Now, if you joined me for the 2 weeks ago, I'm pretty much just going to go around the league. We're going to talk about some games, and then we'll finish up with some fantasy, and we'll talk about the game tonight. Big game tonight, Miami Dolphins and the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that's the game of the week if you want to talk about like really good teams in the league, powerhouses. I think today showed that a lot of these teams are not that great, and oh my gosh, we'll get into it, okay? But I hope you're having a great Sunday. If you're listening on Monday, hope you're having a phenomenal start to your week. Hey, appreciate all the love, appreciate all the support for the show. Let's get into it. One more sip, shall we? All right. Now, this is going to include the Thursday night game because we're going to go T to B. And also, let's go ahead and start off with what teams had a bye week on week 7. Here are all the teams. It was crazy. Teams on a bye week for week 7. Bengals, Cowboys, Jets, Panthers, Titans, and Texans. Why in the hell are 6 teams on bye week? I don't know. But there you go. We're going to start off with the Thursday night game. Jacksonville Jaguars, New Orleans Saints. Now, this one actually was kind of entertaining. I didn't know what to think, to be honest. I was like, okay, so is it going to suck? You're going to get some action? I had no idea, right? But Jacksonville Jaguars improved to 5-2, 31-24 over the New Orleans Saints. You had scoring in every single quarter. It was actually really nice. So here's some stats. Trevor Lawrence, 20 for 29 with 204 yards, 1 touchdown. And then you had Logan Cook do a reception. I don't even remember. Did he come in for garbage time or something? Big night for Travis Etienne. You're talking 2 touchdowns. Both of them are rushing, 14 carries for 53 yards. Really big night for him. And then Christian Kirk caught a touchdown, and he went 6 receptions for 90 yards. So not bad. Evan Ingram snuck in there with 5 receptions for 45 yards. Nothing that great. You're expecting a little bit more from him. But the biggest disappointment, I think, of the night for anybody that was watching this game, and if you play fantasy, is that Calvin Ridley didn't do anything. He had 1 reception for 5 yards, and he ran the ball once for 0 yards. It was bonkers. So if you had him, you were like, oh, feeling great going into the week. You're like, here we go. I'm going to get started off with some good points. Nope, that was not the case. You actually were really pissed off and behind the 8 ball going forward. Now, for the New Orleans Saints, Derek Carr didn't do anything special. I mean, he threw for 301 yards. He had a TD and an interception. Kamara, man, 17 carries for 62 yards, and then he also had 12 receptions for 91 yards. The dude was on fire. He did not get in the end zone, though. Taysom Hill rushed one in. That freaking guy, right? Michael Thomas caught one. He had 3 receptions for 42 yards and a touchdown. So, my pick'em is awful. Today, everyone's pick'em is awful. I think the high score is like 5 or something like that. I only had 3 correct picks. It was bonkers. It really was. I was looking at beforehand. I looked at Liz, like, I don't know what the hell. I actually went to flip to click on to have the Bears. And then I was going to pick the Broncos. I haven't seen the final of that game yet. I came in here. I was tired of it. I was like, you know what? I'm done. But I know the Bears, obviously, they won. And I believed in the kid, right? I was like, I thought he was gonna do good, and he did. He held it together. We'll talk about that more in a minute. So that's it for the Jaguars and Saints. 31-24. Again, the Jags were improved to 5-2. New Orleans fall to 3-4 off the board. Then we have up the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay Bucks. Bucks are at home. Like all these games were like 3 points or less, unless it was like a bigger game spread, which we'll talk about the Bills and the Giants here very shortly. This game was like a snooze fest. I mean, you had 2 touchdowns you had a touchdown from each team in the first quarter. Then it was like field goal city, right? You're 16-13, snooze fest, right? If I had to watch this game and I didn't have like the ticket, or I didn't have like another channel or some other way to watch anything else, I would have went outside and just played in the yard. I don't know, because let's be honest, it was an ugly game. It was a crap game. Desmond Ridder, he had a touchdown. He ran one in. He also fumbled, I believe, twice as he's going into the end zone and fumbled out the back of the end zone, which it's just like, what the hell is going on? I felt bad for people who had Bijan Robinson. It turns out he was kind of ill. He's under the weather. He had 1 carry for 3 yards. Absolutely wrecked a lot of people's teams. Tyler Algier, 21 carries for 59 yards. Very respectable. Cordarrelle Patterson, 10 carries for 56 yards. Drake London, hey, he's back and catching balls, 6 for 54. You'll take that, right? Tyler Algier also tacked on 3 more catches for 53 yards. I mean, going forward, if I'm looking at it from a fantasy standpoint, Algier is definitely a guy that you're going to play. And especially if you get any type of word that Bijan Robinson is not going to be around. This guy, he was great last year. He's cleaning the house right now. He's getting the bulk of the carries. He's actually catching balls out of the backfield. So there you go. All right. But yeah, boring ass game. Bucks, Baker threw 275 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Mike Evans had the touchdown pass. He went 6 for 82. Nothing else to really give a shit about. Now, Godwin did have 6 receptions for 66 yards, and Rachaad White had 6 receptions for 65 yards. So he was passing it around pretty well. The rushing game was just non-existent. So everything came by passes. And I'll tell you what, the Bucks had plenty of chances to win this game. They just did not do it. So moving on. Bucks should have won. Absolutely, Jason. I agree with you. They should have won. There were so many opportunities, and a lot of teams had great opportunities to win games today. They just did not do it. Now let's get on to the Raiders. Vegas travels to Chicago, take on those Bears. The Bears. It was pretty much the Bears from start to finish. Bears scored in every single quarter. Touchdown to first, touchdown second, third touchdown, and then you had 9 points in the fourth. I'm pretty sure those were all field goals. Now, let's just be honest. I'm like I said, I meant to click back and select the Bears because I believed in the kid. I was like, that kid's going to be good, and they're playing the Raiders. The Raiders have a terrible defense, like god-awful defense. Jimmy G's not there either. Brian Hoyer's back there. It's not great, right? Let me go ahead and just tell you how great Brian Hoyer did. 129 yards, 2 interceptions. Then they brought in Aiden O'Connell for 10 passes, 75 yards. Dude, yeah, but he threw the touchdown pass to be, he did, but he threw another interception as well. Rushing was not there just because there's no threat, right? And the Bears are actually not bad up front. Josh Jacobs had 11 carries for 35 yards. Now, reception-wise, you had 2 guys that went kind of big, if you want to call it big, right? Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers both had 7 receptions. They had 7 each. And then Devontae Adams had 57 yards. Jacoby Myers had 50 yards, but he got that TD. So kind of a big day for fantasy-wise for those guys. It was all action on the Bears, though. Badgett, he only threw 1 touchdown and he threw for 162 yards, but it was all Deontay Foreman. 16 carries, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. It was absolutely bonkers. And his third touchdown was a pass, or a reception, excuse me. So he also caught 3 balls for 31 yards. He had a big day. I played him in a league or 2, and then I just didn't get him into the lineup in my other league. I was like, it was between him and some other slapdick. Don't even remember. It's on me. But I've been burned in the past with Foreman. You know what I mean? Like he's been like, oh yeah, he's gonna be a stud this game, and this and that. But then you got to kind of look at the matchup, right? The matchups against the Vegas Raiders. Yeah, you probably should have played them there. Bang, you know what I'm saying? All right. So 30-20. or 30-12, excuse me. Bears improved to 2-5. Vegas drops to 3-4. That's it. Bing, bong, bang. Sup, Nutsack? How we doing, TJ? The Colts was a good one. It was a good one. It was a fun game to watch. Billy Joe's in the house. How about them Chiefs? Yeah, I mean, they won again. It was pretty good. Pretty good game. Justin Herbert just looks bad. I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know what's going on. Not so big day for Herbert. Yeah, exactly. Jay. I mean, what the hell is going on? Merk is in the house. You know, football stats, bro. Cool. It's called the internet. I don't know them. I read them off the internet. Next up actually is the Colts game. Cleveland Browns, they travel over to Indianapolis, take on the Colts, the Minshew Mania Colts. This thing came down to the wire, and if you think for a second that this had anything to do with gameplay and that someone called like Vegas and hit the refs up and say, hey, man, the Browns have got to get in the end zone. They got to. You got to get them in the end zone. I don't give a shit how you do it. I don't care how bad it looks. Just make it. If you watch the end of that game, you know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. It was a shit show. But anyways, you know, PJ Walker came in after Deshaun Watson got hurt. He got slammed to the ground, and he just like was kind of like his arms are out and shit. He looked crazy as hell. He had one pass, 5 yards, and he threw a pick too. I mean, I would act like I was really fucking hurt if you know, I threw that pass as well. But PJ Walker, 178 yards, 1 interception. Jerome Ford had a big play early on in the game and then nothing else after. He had like a 60-yard run. And then his total for the game was 74 yards. Fucking shut down City. And I think he got hurt too. Second?
The human soul has a minimum daily requirement of entertainment. But listening to a podcast like you're doing right now? Yeah, that doesn't count. Welcome to the world of MGM Rewards, where we have the greatest live shows on earth, the biggest names in sports, the best chefs on the planet, and the most unforgettable nights of your life. This is way beyond watching 20-second clips on your phone. This is all the entertainment you can handle and more. So join MGM Rewards now and visit MGMResorts.com to book your next Vegas getaway. Welcome to the show.
Second half? I think in the second half he got hurt. Kareem Hunt, 10 carries for 31 yards, 2 touchdowns. So he came in and just stole every damn thing from you. Now, if you had Amari Cooper, sorry about your luck. You know what I mean? Like, he seriously went 2 for 22. PJ would not fucking throw it to him, like at all. I don't know what the deal was. And there wasn't a whole lot of passes being caught anyhow. Elijah Moore led the team with 4 receptions, 59 yards. But yeah, the defense, they were talking about how great the Cleveland defense was, and then they would jump off sides, and then there was a big play. Colt, Minshew bomb it down the right side. Action-packed, to be honest with you. I mean, 39-38, that's a pretty high-scoring game. But yeah, I was sitting there watching it, and then I was like, all right, it's kind of sloppy. It's getting kind of sloppy, but it's fun to watch. And then, yeah, at the end, you're like, yeah, they're trying their damnedest. I looked at Liz, I go, the Browns are getting in the end zone one way or another. And I was like, people always talk about like the biggest joke, and the NFL's kind of ran with it too, is like, oh, it's scripted, whatever. It's like, I don't think people get it. It's not fucking scripted. It's rigged. You know what I mean? A script is like, oh yeah, you hand somebody a script. Oh, I break my leg in the fucking second act. Oh, that sucks, or whatever. But no, it's called, this team's going to fucking win. You know what I'm saying? So anyway. Maybe not. There's just some questionable stuff. Yeah. But anyways, for the Colts, Minshew Mania, 305 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jonathan Taylor got a touchdown. He got in. He ran for 75 yards on 18 carries. Zach Moss also got 18 carries and he got 57 yards. And then Gardner Minshew ran 2 of them in himself. And then the one he threw was a real beautiful pass. You had one to Josh Downs on the right-hand side, and then the other touchdown was to Michael Pittman. So not bad at all. Really enjoyed the game. It was fun to watch, but then like towards the end, you're just like, oh, Jesus Christ. All right, well, this isn't, this is not on the up and up. This is not on the up and up. Marty, how are you? Did I click on your comment yet? There we go. Roll Tide. Did they win? Oh, yeah, they had to turn it on. They were in trouble. They were in some damn trouble yesterday. Ooh, buddy. And then we're moving on to the Washington Commanders heading up to New York, take on those Giants. Kind of a sloppy game, low scoring, kind of just boring as shit. Like if you had to watch this game too, at least there's touchdowns. So it wasn't as bad as the Atlanta game, but oh boy. I mean, you're talking 2 teams that absolutely suck, duking it out. Sam Howell threw for 249 yards, had an interception. Brian Robinson ran one in. He had 8 carries for 23 yards. Chris Rodriguez, whoever the hell that is, 7 carries for 31 yards. I don't even know who the fuck that is. Scary Terry put up 90 yards on 6 receptions. Logan Thomas, still good, man. He's a viable streaming tight end. 4 receptions for 51 yards, nothing great, but the week before that, he had a really good week. But nothing really else to write home about for the Commanders. Like, seriously, like they had a chance to win that game like 30 times and just could not do it. I don't know, Washington fans, is it time to look for a new coach? Everybody's soft on Ron Rivera. So, I don't know. Allen loves him. Allen loves Ron Rivera. And then heading over to the Giants side, Tyrod Taylor, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Very key to that. No interceptions. Darren Waller had a day. 7 receptions for 98 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Hyatt, 2 receptions for 75 yards. Big play guy. Saquon Barkley, 3 receptions, 41 yards and a touchdown. Barkley obviously dominated the ground, 21 carries and 77 yards. So Barkley had a really good day. But yeah, I mean, it was either Darren Waller or Saquon Barkley. You really didn't have to worry about anybody else. And that's it. Giants improved to 2-5. Commanders dropped to 3-4. Moving on. 34-20. That's right. They had a big second half. Yeah. They got in there and probably had a nice pep talk by their coach. How the Chiefs doing tonight? It's over. They won. Yeah. They beat the what's it? I mean, they're actually not great, right? Like they beat the Chargers. Yeah, the Chargers are like, they've only beat like 2 teams. Yeah, that should have been a absolute freaking drumming, but Chiefs somehow barely only beat them by, I don't know, touchdown? 2 touchdowns? Yeah, 2 touchdowns. We'll talk about that here in a second. The absolute laughing, just the funniest game of the day. If I hear one more fucking Lions fan tell me it's their year, they're going to the Super Bowl, they're just as bad as Cowboy fans, I'm going to either shut down the conversation and say we can talk about anything else, or I'm going to walk away if they don't shut up. Because let me tell you something. I've said it before, they haven't beaten anybody, right? And even when we go all the way back, we beat the Chiefs. I always go back to week 1 and remind them that, one, without Kelce, Mahomes is just okay, right? He's got no receiving core. And they didn't have Kelce. His number one receiver, his number one freaking playmaker, whatever you want to call it, Travis Kelce is amazing. Absolutely outstanding. And then they didn't have Chris Jones. So they didn't even have like their top defensive player either. And then when you stack on top of the chaos of Kadarius fucking Toney sabotaging the entire game, dropping balls, hitting him in the hands, the chest, the helmet, he's knocking balls up in the air, pick sixes and everything else, and they barely won the game if I remember correctly. Like they didn't even win it by a whole lot. So, anyways, but anybody else, they beat nobody. You know what I mean? And then you get beat by Seattle. Anyhow, moving on. We're not moving on, but we're going to talk about this game. The Baltimore Ravens hosted these Lions and just beat the living shit out of them. Ravens put up 14 points in the first, 14 points in the second, and then they just went in mercy mode, right? Just like, fuck it, we're just going to do nothing. They scored another touchdown in the third and then kicked a field goal in the fourth. The Lions did not score until the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter. I hear about this Lions defense. I hear about this Lions offense, and let me tell you, nah. Nope. No, thank you. Jared Goff, 284 yards, 1 interception. Jahmyr Gibbs, 11 carries, 68 yards, and 1 touchdown. Craig Reynolds handled the ball 3 times as well. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 13 receptions, 102 yards. Jamar Gibbs receiving 9 receptions for 58 yards. Samuel Porter, 6 for 52. And let's just be honest. Most of these came in absolute garbage time after the game was put away. I went ahead and jumped on. I thought like Detroit would put up some kind of a fight. So I was getting 25.5 points. Let me turn off this TV. It's bothering me. I went ahead and put Detroit plus 25.5 points. And I was like, I felt pretty good about it. It did not work, buddy. It did not work. Lions are at 5-2 now. Ravens are at 5-2. That's it. Moving on. Boy, the Lions suck. And if you think that team sucks, let me tell you something else. Let me give you a fraud. I'll give you a fraud team in the AFC. They go by the name of Buffalo Bills. They are an effing fraud. They are not good. They got talent, but they are terrible. They are terrible. You won't believe this shit. The Buffalo Bills go to New England and lose. 25-29. The Bills, they really didn't even score anything until the third quarter and then put up 15 points in the fourth. So a field goal in the second, a touchdown in the third, 15 points in the fourth quarter, right? New England scores 10 in the first, 3 in the second, 3 in the third, 13 in the fourth to take that win. Josh Allen, 265 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Josh Allen also rushed one in. He rushed for 7. He carried the ball 7 times for 17 yards. James Cook had a pretty good day, 13 carries for 56 yards, and also tacked on 3 receptions for 46. He scored the touchdown, the pass, or one of the passes by Josh Allen. Stephon Diggs did the other. Stephon Diggs went 6 for 58 and a touchdown. Dalton Kincaid had a pretty good day, 8 for 75. So mark that under, good day. He had a good day. Looking at the Patriots, now it was absolutely bonkers because, just with their receiving core, Mac Jones is not that great. And all of a sudden, against Buffalo, guy does 272 for 2 touchdowns. Zeke even ran the ball in once, right? Ramondre Stevenson had 34 yards on 9 carries. Zeke had 31 on 11 carries and that touchdown. Do not forget it. Kendrick Bourne got the touchdown, went 6 for 63. He got 1 touchdown. Mike Gesicki got the other touchdown to win the game. There's really nothing else notable. Ramondre Stevenson had actually a pretty good little day. Even though he only rushed for 34 yards, if you're, playing PPR fantasy football, he also had 6 receptions for 51 yards. Not bad. But yeah, you talk about just a fake team. Absolutely. I pick the Bills. I say this every freaking week. We talk football or, we make our predictions. Hold on. Let me take a nice drink to wet the palate here. Do you say wet your whistle or wet your beak? Let me know if you've ever heard those phrases. Anyways, the Buffalo Bills are 4-3 now. The New England Patriots are 2-5. Listen, the Buffalo Bills almost lost last week to the Giants, right? It took some questionable calls from the refs to get them in position and get them in the end zone and give them, what they needed to win. And I pick the Bills every freaking year to win the Super Bowl because I think they have the talent. And now I'm starting to be like, you know what? Well, it'll probably make the playoffs, but what are they going to do when they get in the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? The AFC is so wild ass now that you don't know who the hell's going to win. I mean, the Chiefs are there, but they're not playing at their top level. They're not where they were last year or the year before that. They're still a good team. Don't get me wrong. But
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry. We were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
I mean, I guess they're the powerhouse in the AFC. They have to be. Them in Miami, but Miami really hasn't beaten anybody either. They'll beat the doors off of you, though. If you're a bad team, they'll drop 70 on your ass. Ask the Giants. I'm pretty sure that was the Giants that they did. But yeah, the Bills, I don't know how I feel about the Bills going forward. I didn't feel good about this week. I sure as hell didn't think that they were going to lose to the Patriots, but Jesus Christ, watch out. Moving on. Old school, Marty. So who is your favorite team? Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals. That's who I go for. Yep. I do have several teams that I like and I'll root for and stuff like that. But yeah, no, my home team or whatever, if you want to call it that. I'm from Dallas, but I'm not rooting for the Cowboys ever. Never. Next up, we got the Seattle Seahawks hosting the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are a terrible team. They've only beaten one team, and you won't believe who it is. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some stats. Joshua Dobbs, 9 passing. Hold on. 9 for 69. He almost had more yards rushing than he did. Well, about, 60 yards difference. But when it's that close between rushing and throwing, there's something wrong. There is something wrong. And of course, DeMercado, you went and picked him up, like, say, last week, and then you're like, oh, no, let me get this other guy. And then DeMercado actually had an okay week, 9 rushes. He led the backfield with 9 carries for 44 yards, but no touchdown. Joshua Dobbs actually rushed the touchdown in. And let me, out of those 9 completions, here's the top 2 receivers on the Cardinals. Marquise Brown, 2 receptions for 28 yards. Zach Ertz, 2 receptions for 14 yards. It was absolutely one of the just dumbest games you've ever seen in your life. And it should have been even like, it could have definitely got out of hand even more. Seattle could have just beat the shit out of them. But at sometimes, you got Geno Smith looking good. Sometimes he doesn't look good. Like, he throwing these perfect passes, then all of a sudden just goes to shit. DK Metcalf was out this game, so I don't know if that hurt him or not. But anyways, flipping over to the Seahawks, Geno went 16 completions, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker, 15 carries for 63 yards. I mean, that's your running back out there, right? I mean, he's the guy. Kenneth Walker III, obviously, there's no question about it. Smith-Njigba had 4 receptions for 63 yards and a touchdown. Jake Bobo, 2 receptions for 49 yards and a touchdown. Tyler Lockett went for 4 for 38. That was it. I mean, you kind of want to talk about a lackluster game. I mean, Seattle put up a touchdown in the first and second, then field goals in third and fourth. It was kind of boring. After halftime, shit was boring as hell. Like, I hope you were able to watch something else because it was god-awful. Like, just terrible. Bills losing to Pats, I don't get it. Call it the NFL. That's what I'm saying. But I also don't think the Bills are that great. Like, I think the Bills are a great team. Like, I've gone for them, rooted for them, bet on them, all that shit. But, like, all of a sudden, like, they just don't play very good football right now. I don't know what's going on with them. I really don't. And I hate seeing it because Josh Allen's an amazing player. Stephon Diggs is a great player. James Cook looked good today, though. So that's something to take from it. I need to refresh these pages real quick because when I pulled this up, the games hadn't quite finished yet. And I want to make sure I got the right stuff. Moving on to some later games as well. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers going into L.A. Yeah. Some interesting calls, to say the least. A questionable spot at the end of the game and first down. McVay couldn't challenge it either because he had already burned all his timeouts. So looking at the Steelers, Kenny Pickett, 230 yards, no touchdown, no interception. Najee Harris, touchdown on 14 carries. Jaylen Warren got in the end zone on 6 carries. And then Kenny Pickett ran one in himself. So you had 3 rushing touchdowns, no receiving touchdowns. George Pickens had a pretty good day, though. 5 receptions for 170 yards. Deontay Johnson, 5 for 79. Connor Haywood had 2 for 23. Well, I mean, that's just like nothing, right? So, fantasy relevancy, George Pickens and Deontay Johnson definitely had a good day. Najee Harris, I'm glad to see that he finally did something. You know what I mean? It's been a while, and he just hasn't performed, and it's just been wild. And with Pittsburgh, I picked the Rams to win this game, to be honest with you, because I think the Rams are a better team. But Pittsburgh showed up to LA, put a little something on them. Kind of a slow start of a game. You're talking about no scoring in the first. And then Pittsburgh, they scored a touchdown in the third and 14 and then 2 touchdowns in the fourth. So you had that going for them. But a questionable spot at the end of the game kind of changed the outcome, I thought. But, it is what it is. They won. They won. F it. Who cares? It's Pittsburgh. Oh, I meant to tell you what their score or their rankings were, but I don't think anybody cares. Moving on to the Chiefs. Or the Chefs. They redid that commercial from that Snickers commercial from the 90s. I go, yeah, why not? I mean, it was a classic commercial. Why not redo it? Why not? That's what we need to do. Just redo things. Whew. This was a tough game to watch. And I hope that you could watch it on the Red Zone. Then you wouldn't have to see what's fucking Mahomes' wife, Taylor Swift, and anybody else, that idiot that's up in that box, or that other idiot that it goes over the top for the Chargers. She was like last week, she's a planted fan, right? She's planted in there. They're told about her. She's over the top on every stupid fucking thing on earth. And then within 12 hours, she's on a television show doing an interview. And then when you go back, and I think something else was posted, she was rooting like that for the Vikings last year. It was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, fake ass shit. Anyways, Chargers head to Kansas City, take on the Chiefs. 17-31 is your final score. Field goals in the first quarter from both teams. And then you had the second quarter was fun to watch. Chargers put up 2 touchdowns. The Chiefs put up 3. Woo, boy, you thought the doors were going to get blown off of this game. You're like, here we go, here we go. Nobody scored in the third, and then the Chiefs scored a pity touchdown in the fourth. I was like, this just sucks. Like, this is another game that just sucked. Justin Herbert threw for 259 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. There's something wrong with Herbert. I don't know what it is. I just don't know what the hell's going on. He's supposed to be really good. Like, all these guys that got these big ass contracts, they all suck this year. Like, terrible. And I got another bone to pick with somebody. Joshua Kelly went for 7 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown. Let me tell you something. This kid, Joshua Kelly, drives me nuts because I always draft him as a handcuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to put him in whenever Austin Eckler goes down because Austin Eckler will get hurt every fucking year. So I put him in. He scores you like 3 points those weeks, right? But if Austin Eckler starts the game, Kelly can fucking put up 20 points just like that. Jesus. Sweating my ass off in here, too, because it's 90 degrees in October in Texas, so that's got me extra pissed off. Yeah, Austin Eckler had 14 carries on 45 yards. That's fucking pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Joshua Palmer, highest receiver here. You got 5 receptions for 133 yards. The next up was Keenan Allen, 4 for 55. Gerald Everett got the touchdown, 3 of 26. But yeah, once you got into the second half, it was so boring. Mahomes threw for 424 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. There was some fun shit to watch, some possible fumbles that, weren't called fumbles, whatnot. Travis Kelce obviously had a big day, 12 yards, 179 yards, and a touchdown. MVS back on the team, 3 receptions, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Rashee Rice got a touchdown, 5 on 60. Isaiah Pacheco got a touchdown receiving. He went 4 for 28. So there you go. A lot of touchdowns, a lot of balls being passed around. Mahomes had a good game. I mean, he's back to looking like he should be playing. You know what I'm saying? He's the best quarterback in the league. He's showing it. He's absolutely showing you. But I'll tell you this. You take away Travis Kelce, he ain't the best quarterback in the league. Not even close. Because these little fuckers were here before, and they couldn't catch a ball to begin with. Now, don't get me wrong. MVS was on the Jets, and he came over. Now, all of a sudden, he's an all-star. But they call him all-star? We'll call him Pro Bowler. But yeah, no, it's crazy. Oh, boy. Thoughts on Amari Cooper? That offense is so brutal. I'm about to give him. I'm giving up on him too. Bryce, today is my last day of playing Amari Cooper. I don't know who I'm gonna play instead, but I fucking anybody off my bench. Anybody. So yeah, Chiefs improved to 6-1. Chargers drop to 2-4. They are absolutely terrible this year. Chargers, for me, unless they go on some crazy tear, the season's over for the Chargers. Something's wrong with Herbert. He's got talent all around him. The defense is, but 17 points, that ain't going to get it done. And I think this is the last game of the night before we talk about the Sunday Night Football game. The Green Bay Packers and the Denver Broncos, 2 teams that no one gives a shit about. The Packers went to Denver. Jordan Love had 21 receptions or completions, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He didn't do it terribly bad. It wasn't a bad game for him. Didn't mind it all that much, and he took the ball in his own hands several times, about 3 times, to be honest, and ran for 21 yards. Aaron Jones, 8 for 35. Big night for A.J. Dillon, 15 for 61. I feel bad for Aaron Jones fantasy managers. You don't know what you're going to get out of this guy any freaking week. And but yeah, A.J. Dillon also had the most receiving yards. He went 2 for 34. Luke Musgrave, 4 for 30. Luke Musgrave, I think, left early, concussion protocol. Romeo Doubs, 2 for 30 with a touchdown. Christian Watson, 3 for 27. Jalen Reed caught a touchdown. It was funny because it went through Dobbs or somebody's arms. It got kind of tipped up just barely, but it landed right in his hand. So he caught it and was like, oh, shit, touchdown. Yeah, look at me, Mom. I scored a touchdown. Russell Wilson, oh, boy, that guy. Oh, shit, man. 194 yards and 1 TD. No interceptions. That's a good thing, right? Javonte Williams handled most of the backfield. You're talking 15 carries for 82 yards. And then Courtland Sutton had a big so now I think, Courtland Sutton can now make it into my starting lineup. I kept him on the bench for, these past 6 weeks just because they haven't done anything. And he went 6 for 76 and 1 touchdown. Jerry Jeudy actually played an okay game. He's flex material at this point, 5 for 64, just depending on the league that you're in. Javonte Williams, on top of his 82 yards that he had rushing, tacked on 14 more by 3 receptions. So not a terrible day for fantasy for the Broncos, just, and then they do squeak out the win. This one was quite boring to watch as well. Packers didn't score anything till the third. Broncos had 3 field goals in the first half, and then finally got a touchdown in the third, and then another field goal in the fourth to win it. I thought the Packers were going to win. I'm making my picks. I'm looking at it. I'm like, these teams both suck. Packers fall to 2-4. Broncos make it to 2-5. Congratulations. Moving on. Hey, Lizzie, how are you doing? You're about to trade him for Deontay for CeeDee Lamb. I don't think the CeeDee Lamb guy is going to take that. You think so? I don't know. Deontay had a good day today, though. We were talking about that earlier. Lizzie's in the house. How are you doing? Attitude era Mark. What's up? What's up? Ayuk at Minnesota or Mostert at Philly? Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk. Philly's got a good defense. Yep. That's who I have to take tonight. I actually have Ayuk in my flex position. But yeah, if I had to pick between those two, and I like Mostert. I like him a lot. And I understand that Miami's got a hell of a great offense. But yeah, I'm going to stick with Ayuk against Minnesota. Discord OS. I don't know what the hell y'all are talking about. Oh, y'all must be talking to each other on this. I mean, I have y'all's Discord. I can pull it up myself. Let's see what they're doing right now. Hello, all. Well, that was from August. We got some live now. I'm sorry, folks. I'm going over to Discord to say hi to people. All right. Sunday night game. The Miami Dolphins versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Both teams are 5-1. I mean, I have Miami picked to win the game. To be honest, Eagles just lost to the Jets. Let's not forget about that. The Jets. Now, they were on the road, but it was the first time I think they lost the Jets in franchise history. Eagles beat the Rams 23-14. Then the Commanders put 31 points on them on October 1st. Okay? Let's just remember that. And then let the Vikings put 28 points on them. Man, I might be changing my pick. Or not my pick, but I might be changing if I'd rather run out Mostert. Let me take a look real quick. Dolphins. Yeah, beat the Giants 31-16. Beat the Bills beat them October 1st. Man, they've had some tough breaks there. They put up 70 on the Broncos. I thought it was the Giants. It was actually the Dolphins or the Broncos. Beat the Patriots 24-17. Looks like they do good at home, struggle on the road. And with them being on the road tonight, I could see the Eagles winning for sure. The Eagles are hosting. That game kicks in 25 minutes. Damn. I mean, the only team that the Dolphins have, there's 2 teams that they've beat on the road. The Chargers, which is a terrible team. They had to score 36 points to beat them, though. And then the Dolphins beat the Patriots in New England, 24-17. The rest of their wins have been on the road, or at home, excuse me. Wow. It's going to be a good game tonight. Oh, I hope it is, right? So if I had to pick, let's go sports. What's up, Brad? How are we doing? Just hanging out, enjoying myself. I guess I'm going to have to go Ayuk. Give me Ayuk. Like I said, Ayuk at Minnesota. Yeah. I feel good about that, I think. I mean, we could talk fantasy football. Why the hell is it looks like I'm not going to say some person, but like somebody got on my computer here and changed the font size of all this shit because it's everything's in 140 font. And I'm like, what the hell's the deal with this shit? Let's just talk about the top performers because I am going to save a little bit for the SB Fantasy Football podcast that I'm probably going to do tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll even do a little preview. But let's go ahead and take a look at the top performers in each position. So you had Patrick Mahomes drop 50.10 points this week. Lamar Jackson wasn't far behind him at 47.45. Gardner Minshew, the Minshew Mania, baby, 38.15. Josh Allen, 30.94. Tyrod Taylor, 30.45. I would normally stop there. That's your top 5, right? And then it also ends with that's those people that are all are above 30. But an honorable mention, Mac Jones, 26.70. Good for him, buddy. Good job. You have to say good job. All right, moving over to the wide receiver. Downs put up 25.5 points. Nakua, 23.40. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 23.20. Mike Evans, 22.20. Christian Kirk, 21.0. Palmer, 20.30. And I'm going to give you an honorable mention because he doesn't get there very often and because he plays for Denver. Courtland Sutton, 19.60. Good for him. Little good Little good. How you doing? So no big fantasy points yet. You're talking if you're, looking at the wide receiver and the biggest number is 25.5. It was a boring ass week in fantasy for wide receivers. But Miami plays here in a little bit. Watch for Tyreek Hill to absolutely blow the freaking doors off. Why wouldn't he put up 30 or 40 points? Why not? Why? I don't know. Beer's so damn tasty. All right, running back position. Deontay Foreman led the way with 33 points. Alvin Kamara, 29.30. Jahmyr Gibbs, why did I almost say Jason Gibbs? Jahmyr Gibbs, 27.60. Gus the Bus, 23.4. Travis Etienne, 22.7. Jonathan Taylor finally getting in the 20s, 21.00. Honorable mention. I'm going to give you 2. Actually, hell, I'll just give you 3. Jerome Ford put up 19.40 points. James Cook put up 19.20, and Saquon Barkley 18.80. Let's get that kid some more carries. Let's get him. Let him find the end zone a little bit more. You know what I mean? Come on. But yeah, to be honest, Ford, he put up 60 yards rushing in like one play, and then got like 14 the rest of the time. So not a great day, but it is what it is. You're not going to believe who I tell you the number one fantasy tight end is. It's Travis freaking Kelce, 37.90. Darren Waller, like I mentioned, he had a hell of a day, 22.80. Mark Andrews behind him, 22.30. Taysom Hill, I don't know why the hell tight end bullshit. He's not, doesn't even line up as a tight end, 16.8. Well, he does, I guess. And then Kincaid, 15.50. Crazy day. I think it's National Tight End Day. I think so. Ugh, Jesus. People drive me crazy. Like, just absolutely drive me crazy. I just hope both teams have fun. Shut up. Shut up, Red Brad. I hope all is going well for you. All right, kickers, man. Dustin Hopkins, 26. Lutz, 18. Young Ho Koo, walk-off win. Kicked a freaking bomb today. He had 15. Ryland, 14. Group A, whatever. I don't know. 13 points. Nothing great. You're talking about 2 kickers that had good days, Hopkins and Lutz. Everything else, 15. It's still okay. I want at least 15 points for my kicker. My guy, he scored 9 points. Justin Tucker, Mr. Automatic. Someone's in there making some weird noises. For defense, Baltimore, 22 points against those Lions, man. Held them to 6 points. Chicago, 17. Cleveland, 17. New York, 17. And then Seattle, 14. I would say, kind of shocked by Chicago and Baltimore, but they got it done. Cleveland's been scoring points all year. They're actually rostered by 81% of teams. They've had a really good season so far, and I think someone mentioned that they were like the number 1 team or defensive team in the league. Clearing out all these browser windows real quick. But yeah, 20 minutes out from kick. Again, you got Philadelphia and Miami duking it out. You got the Rangers coming up. I actually got to go watch that game too. Probably going to be the last game of the season for the Rangers. What are you going to do? And if it's not, like someone asked me about it, they're like, "Oh, I think they'll win." And I go, "Well, yeah, you got Eovaldi on the bump. It's a great pitcher. The problem is this: if you somehow win today, how the hell are you going to win tomorrow? Who are you going to put on the mound? There's no one left. Scherzer sucks. You know what I mean? He sucks so fucking bad. He's a shell of what he was. He's past his prime. Listen, he was really good 10 years ago. He's just not good now. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. He's had a great career, but yeah, I don't see him doing anything against the Astros, even though the Astros play like shit at home. What are you going to do? How is a football referee like an angry chicken? They both have foul mouths. I don't see how. I've talked about this before as well. I don't see how NFL referees put up with the amount of shit they get from coaches and players. Like baseball umpires, you get kind of a warning and then it's like, you're gone. Like fucking, I would be tossing people like crazy. Doing well, new job is awesome. And I can watch you guys now. Awesome, man. I'm glad. I'm really glad the new job's going well. Yeah. Cheers to you. I think I'm actually about to sign off here. Go watch some baseball, go watch some football. Enjoy my Sunday night. I'm off tomorrow, as I said. I'm probably going to do a show for the SB Fantasy Football. If you don't know what that is, look it up on your phone. You can actually find us on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. So if you want audio only, Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, we're everywhere. But if you're looking for video as well, it's on YouTube. Check it out. SB Fantasy Football. That's me. I'm RD. I'm out of here. I'm tired. It's been a hell of a Sunday. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Hopefully we do Strikeout Beer tomorrow late night, and then Wednesday, the live show. We'll see you. Adios.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.